Hey guys, Thomas from Team Sakurasou here, coming at you with 5 cards to have in your trade binder for November. I want to just say thank you very quickly to YGOPaisano. Thank you for letting me guest upload on your channel. It means a lot. 5 cards to have in your trade binder is a series I do on my channel where I tell you 5 cards to invest in before they skyrocket up in price. I have a lot of experience with stocks, so coming back to YuGiOh after a long hiatus, it's really easy to read this market. Like, it's so simple to me that's not even funny. So on my channel, I do market watches, I do openings, I have a Phantom Rage case opening coming hopefully soon. I like to open up legacy product. I also do YuGiOh discussions and news. So if you guys kind of like that, I'm trying to do all YuGiOh content, but mainly that. Come to my channel. I also have this series, which is 5 cards to have in your trade binder. So if you do enjoy my content and you like this video, make sure to go to the description below, come to my channel. I'm almost at 1,000 subs. I'm trying to reach it before the end of the month, so I'm going to get right into it. So the first card I have here is actually Gagaga Girl from Order of Chaos, the secret rare first edition. Now, the reason I'm telling you guys to pick up this card is, believe it or not, a lot of collectors are now moving on from 5Ds to Zexal. The reason being is because we've been seeing a lot of buyouts recently when it comes to Zexal and Zexal product. Especially Order of the Chaos. The reason being is multiple, which is, number one, Inzektor's one create a card, so a lot of those cards like Inzektor Hornet and Ulti Inzektor stuff isn't really, along with Inzektor Exasag, high rarity Inzektors along with Inzektors that haven't been reprinted in ever, actually. Hornet only has 1 printing as of the making of this video still. Same with other Inzektor cards. Are in that set, along with a lot of number hunters that are trying to complete their collection, are looking at that the high rarity stuff in Order of Chaos because there's a lot of number cards and they're picking them up, like number 12 and all that. But the reason I'm telling you guys to pick up God Girl is, number one, a lot of people haven't been looking at her, and number two, she is the Dark Magician Girl of Zexal. Whether you like it to admit it or not, she is, right? Along with, she's probably the most useful Dark Magician Girl, at least so far, when it comes to actually playing the game. What she can basically do, she copies Gaga Magician's level, and you could go into stuff like rank 8s, Karamali, OTK, if you guys remember what that is, etc, etc. But the big reason I'm telling you to pick it up is because collectors are now looking at Order of Chaos, and they're looking, that's Gaga Girl, that's basically Dark Magician of, you know, Zexal. I should pick that up. And the only printings Gagaga Girl has is a common, a super, and a secret rare. With the secret rare just being from a special edition, not really worth really mentioning, and the common being a common. Looking at this secret rare, it doesn't really have too many printings, and getting its highest rarity, which is a first ed, lightly played, for about $16, $17, first ed near mint a little bit more. It's best to grab these while you can before they shoot up to around $40, $50, and before collectors get their hands on them. Now, the second card I have here is Ultimate Rare Solemn Judgment. Now, I know this seems very simple as a pickup, but a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players just don't understand why, so I'm going to explain it. We've seen stuff like its brothers Ulti Solemn Warning and Ulti Solemn Strike easily go above $120, at least for first set Solemn Warnings, because they're Ulti Solemns, right? They're very useful, and Ulti Solemn Judgment is probably the best out of the 3. Obviously, it depends on scenarios and all that. But Ulti Solemn Judgment now is now sitting at $80, and I had this in my 5 cards time your trade binder before, when it was around $60. I told people to pick this up because this is a card that can easily match Solemn Strike in terms of value, and Solemn Strike is sitting around roughly $130, $140. So this is a card that can net you $80 profit, or if you get a playset, which I believe you should, is $240 profit. It's very good to get these cards and hold on to them a little bit, especially since we've seen how OTS is, especially when it comes to very relevant good cards. They just spike up in value, especially because right now we are in a pandemic, so it's very difficult to get OTS. And a lot of people, since they're not into Yu-Gi-Oh, they don't realize how much older OTS 12 is. Eventually, OTS 12, and especially Ulti Solemn Judgments, I feel like are going to hit at least 150. It just takes one buyout, and I think it's going to be really beneficial for those who at least have held the card for a while, because it's going to go up to 120, 130, along with its Solemn Judgment, dude. Like, it's a collectible card as well, so it's going to go straight up to the moon. No vintage values intended. So yeah, now for the third card that I have to have in your trade binder, and that is Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack. I am telling you guys to pick up the first edition from Tachyon Galaxy. Now, the reason I'm telling you guys to pick this up is because, now, first of all, believe it or not, if you played when the Elemental Dragons were a meta deck, where it was just E-Dragon and Prophecy, aka post-Tachyon Galaxy, you would know that Draco Sack was actually a $150 to $200 card at one point. And this was for a while, by the way. This wasn't just for a day or two. This was for a while, because you needed 3 of this to play basically the best deck of the format, right? And back then, secret rares, at least from Zexal sets, until they started doing this later on, you only used to get 1 secret rare per box, and there were short prints in core sets. So imagine how hard it was to get 3 of these for your deck. So the reason I'm telling you guys to pick this up, though, mainly right now, is because a lot of players are now looking at older formats. A lot of players are looking not just at GOAT format a lot more, but they're looking at stuff like Plant Synchron format. They're looking at Glad Beast format, Light Swarm format. They're looking at Rescue Cat format, and they're looking at Elemental Dragon format, because a lot of players really liked that format, especially if it was either Prophecy versus Elemental Dragons versus the other one, or Mirror Match. It just is what it is. A lot of people really like that, and a lot of people are picking these up, and the biggest thing is I've noticed a lot of these are disappearing off the market. First set copies of this were like 12 to 15 not too long ago, and they've slowly but surely been rising up in value. So you guys should definitely get these while you can, especially since it's a generic rank 7 that a lot of people still think is one of the best rank 7s in the game, even to today's even up to today. So people usually include stuff like Big Eye as well into this category. Big Eye, Draco Sack, and that's really it. Those are usually the top 2 rank 7s, along with a very few other ones. So get this while you can. It's also a token producer, so you could link off into it, pop a card, then just start linking off. So it's a very, very good card to have. So I would pick up yours while you can. Now the 4th card I have here is Winged Kuriboh from the GX Duel Academy GBA game. Now the reason I'm telling you guys to pick this up is because a lot of players and a lot of collectors are now looking at game promos to pick up. Stuff like includes Kaiba Man, which has recently got a buyout, which I actually called in my 5 cards on my trade binder, and I had a lot of my subs actually go in on that card, and it basically I almost solo caused the buyout. I'm not trying to take credit there, but it is what it is, right? There's also Sinister Serpent. We've seen stuff like Harpy's Feather Duster go to the moon, and many, many other examples, right, of game promos just going straight to the moon. I'm telling you guys, get Winged Kuriboh here because, number one, it's Kuriboh and it's GX, right? A lot of people aren't looking at the GX games as much, but they are right next on the chopping block. And once these are gone, there's not going to be too many people who could replace these on the market. Right now, they're about $9 a piece. But after a buyout, maybe even 2 and maybe 4 years, we can easily see this either tripling, quadrupling, or just because of how the Yu-Gi-Oh market in 2020 is going to go, and you guys are going to call me crazy in the comment section, this could easily hit $100 at one point, seeing that it's Winged Kuriboh promo, and you know how collectors go crazy over Winged Kuriboh, and just Kuriboh in general. So get this card while you can. I would say get a playset because that's the max profit you get. But if you only want to get 1 copy and see where it goes, that's completely fine too. I also hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. If you are, leave a like and subscribe to YGOPaisano. I've talked to him off camera. Dude's awesome. Like, just an awesome, fun guy to be around. But you guys already know that. You're sub to him. And you're even watching this video. So, yeah. Now, the 5th card that I actually have to have in your trade binder is Ultimate Rare Pot of Desires. Now, the reason I'm telling you guys to pick up Pot of Desires is very similar to the reason why I'm telling you guys to pick up Ultimate Rare Solemn Judgments. And that is that if you look at stuff like Pot of Duality hitting $140 to $200, which is absolutely nuts, then we can easily see a card like Pot of Desires, which is probably the better pot card as of right now, since the not being able to special summon in Yu-Gi-Oh is basically a death sentence. So a lot of players are opting to play out of Pot of Duality, besides I think maybe a couple of Geist builds and maybe Mystic Mine, at least when it comes to meta-relevant decks. So I think you guys should pick up Pot of Desires way more, but if Ultimate Rare Pot of Duality could be that much, how much can Ultimate Rare Pot of Desires be in like a year? 2 years, right? Maybe even 3 years, right? And even like 6 months down the line, we can easily see this card hitting about the same price at 140, 150, because it is also a 3 of. I look at cards that, especially meta relevant high rarity staples, I'd rather get the card that you need multiple copies of, 2 or 3, than the 1, because there's less quantities around, since a lot of players are going to want to keep a playset, not just one copy, right? Say like a ultimate rare Trishula, unless you're playing Ice Bears, most likely players would just be happy with the 1 copy, right? But with Pod Desires, what are you going to do with 1 ulti Pod Desires? Absolutely nothing, right? Now, I've seen people play 2 before, but never 1. So 3 Pod Desires is probably what I would tell you guys to pick up as an ultimate. There is also the cheaper alternative, which is Secret Rares, which could slowly rise in value too. But I think the ultimate rares is really where the profit is, so that's what I would focus on. I would get at around $75. They're definitely not bad. I actually had this in my 5 card 7-year trade binder, my first one ever, and this was when it was $40, $45, and when I picked them up, because that was criminally low. Like, this is a bit low for Pot Desires, $75, but $40, $45 was criminally undervalued. So I only got around 5 copies. I tried to get a 6, but I couldn't. But yeah, so get this while you could. If any decks, especially certain decks like Pendulums that run Pod Desires, ever need this card, especially meta-relevant decks that run Pod Desires, we're going to see this spike up in value. So get your copies while you can. I hope you guys enjoyed 5 cards out of your trade binder. Hopefully you guys will check me out on my channel. Usually I have a mix between cheaper cards and expensive cards, so I apologize if today was more on the money side, but usually I try to keep a good balance. I just pick cards that I know almost for sure is going to go up in value. I don't try to water it down just to make it a little cheaper. So hopefully you guys do understand that, and I will see you guys hopefully on my channel. Peace.